Everybody, welcome to the EA as we kick back up once again with the earliest alert looking long range. Start you off again with the update to the darkest day. We'll get to that first. And here is today's Clips fact or Clips note of the day. And it involves another saying, a superstition if you will, of the ancient Vietnamese. They believed that the eclipse was caused by a giant frog that was devouring the sun. Which sounds really cool actually. And certainly would be memorable. So, but there's a lot of different, you have to think about the civilizations back then, how they were. There was not a lot to explain things, so they got creative, as you would imagine so. So there you go with today's Clips Note for Kentucky's Darkest Day. And a reminder, coming out for this weekend on Sunday, we will be having a partnership with the Louisville Astronomical Society. They're going to be at the Parklands of the Floyd's Fork, all three locations, I believe, there in the East End. Sunday from 1 to 3. Great day to do it. It's going to be beautiful out. You'll get a chance to learn more about eclipse viewing safety, which is extremely important. Free eclipse viewing glasses. That is a big bonus. And then a chance to look at the actual solar telescope that we're going to be looking at on the day of the eclipse. They'll have it there on site so you get a chance to see what it's like to look at the sun on Sunday safely. All right. And also, don't forget that coming up on the 19th of August, we will be at the Kentucky State Fair, the South Wing, where you can get those glasses ready for you, and we have a lot of other fun stuff for you to do and to learn about when it comes to Kentucky's Darkest Day. Again, that's Saturday the 19th at the Kentucky State Fair. All right, let's talk about the severe weather side of things real quick before we get into the long term. Marginal risk south and east of Louisville because it's mainly on the east side of the low pressure. I'll show you that in a second. Tomorrow, no problem. Sunday, yeah, no problem for anybody. We really improve the weather over a good chunk of the country. Here's a look at the visible satellite and the radar combination. If you look carefully, you can actually see where that spinning is, right in through here. Looks like very close to Salem. So the flow right now is coming in from the southeast ahead of it, and then you get more of a northwest flow on the back side of it. It's where the two meet, where we could have some stronger thunderstorms today. It's where that northwest flow kind of comes back around again and then becomes basically a cold front and runs into that more humid air. That's where the thunderstorms will pop later today, and it will just depend on where that low is positioned at that time, and we're thinking not far from where it is now. Here's the wind arrows from reporting stations. You can see the general trend, the southeast wind to a northwest on the back side. So it's pretty clear it's right over Washington County as where that low is. And so we'll be tracking that as we get through the afternoon, and I'll show you the models in just a second, but it stretches all the way down across portions of Mississippi into Arkansas as well. A lot of very deep moisture here just waiting to be tapped into to produce some heavy downpours. But as expected, as we talked about yesterday, not everybody was going to get really decent rain at all out of this. A lot of people would be missed, and it turns out the core that a lot of people being missed ended up being a good chunk of Louisville Metro. No shocker on that, but we're not entirely done yet. So got some more downpours, so if you were missed so far, hopefully you'll get something today before the front does move in. Because that lighter green is coming our way, we want the brown color to move our way, which would be the really dry air, but we are get some drier air moved down into our neck of the woods as we head into early portions of the weekend here. Here's the RPM model. First off, here is the current radar that we have out there. You can see those downpours scattered about. Here's where the model says they should be. Not too far off, just like yesterday, it's too far on the intensity side. It's too dramatic. But some downpours can certainly take place today, some tropical-like downpours. And you can see as we enter the afternoon, we get that backlash flow. We climb into the 80s, and it's basically right at an angle there, south and east of Louisville, pretty much where they've drawn that slight or the marginal risk from the Storm Prediction Center. Good placement by them where that would actually be. But I got to stress, it's very low end, very, very low end deal on that. After that happens and it moves on out of here, we will get a chance to allow for that dry air, breezy too tonight. The winds are really going to ramp up. It's a good thing though, because that's the dry north flow flowing in. But windy tonight, allowing for a very comfortable night and beautiful weather for tomorrow. Oh boy, temperatures barely into the low 80s. A lot of you will stay in the 70s, and for most of the day, not a cloud in the sky. It doesn't get much better than that for the last weekend of July. You all know that. All right, let's look at the long term here. Here is the ensembles, GFS. Here is the Euro and the Canadian. And let me change my wand so you can see what I'm drawing. And the models are in really good agreement on this cool weather that moves in this weekend. Taking its sweet time moving out. This is Wednesday. It's still kind of just hanging out for a while, even as we head into the following weekend. Another front moves in. This will be our next rain chance, I would say a week from today into that weekend. Showers, thunderstorms will move in, but another deep trough. I mean, the Euro is really deep with it. as we head into the following weekend. And if this is right, especially if the Euro's right, we may end up seeing a day in the 70s, even in the city, as we head into the following weekend. There's a chance, anyway, that could happen. But then after that, we see a couple things. The models are trying to bring the heat back in again as we head into mid-August, especially trying to flatten out the pattern in general. But if you look carefully, there's also still a little bit of a hint of a trough there, especially in the Euro and the Canadian. And then GFS technically does it, although it's trying to bring that tropical wave that's out in the eastern Atlantic now. It's trying to bring it in as a tropical system into the southeast coast later on down time here, but we'll see if that even happens. But either way, I don't see a sign that the heat's really going to come in at full force. Are we going to get around 98 degrees again, 90 or 92, something like that? Yeah, I think that's, you have to at least say that's a possibility in August. But I don't see any massive heat waves that are going to get us back into the mid to upper 90s, anything like that. That's certainly some good news, and a lot better than what July ended up bringing us. All right, so looking even longer out, since we were talking about Kentucky's darkest day, what are the weather patterns saying? Well, I'm getting some data now about that period of the month. I don't get a lot of specifics, as you would expect, that far, but the general consensus on some of the long-range Euro and even the CFS model here is that we will likely be below normal. Now, normal by this point is going to be about the mid-80s. So if it's saying we're going to be below normal, we're probably looking at 80 to 85 kind of a deal in the Ohio Valley. Now, the next question is it going to be rain-induced, or is it actually 80 to 85 with a cool front moving in and it's beautiful out like this weekend? Well, when you look at the precipitation patterns, it indicates above normal precipitation would actually fall near that time. So it may be rain-induced. That would be horrible news. Really stresses me out. I just get gray hair looking at that. But it's far out, so let's give it some time. The models are going to always flip this far out. But at least I have a snapshot to work with, and I'm going to be analyzing it each and every day and trying to hopefully get a better idea of the setup of where the fronts will be in different pressure systems to get an idea of what to gauge as we get closer in time, and I'm getting close to doing that. So stay tuned, guys. We'll keep you updated on that. We'll be talking about the fall forecast very soon, and of course, it's about time for me to start looking at the winter forecast already.